It is. It's fun. It's fun to be meetings being live streamed. You consent to be. Zoom keeps updating their applications. So now I've got like all these. Hey, you're live. You're streaming. Okay, very good. We're recording. In case that wasn't already apparent. Welcome everyone to our daily success call for Monday, the final day of February 2022. John Lavenia here with you. And for all of our new members, welcome. Hopefully we've had a chance to meet on one of our welcome sessions. I just had a great meeting with 15 or so, which is where I limited hey, Crystal, I'll go ahead and mute your microphone. Crystal's doing some construction work over there. But I limit it to 15 people because I want to have a bit of a personal, dialogue with people. I know here we sometimes get up to about 100 people. And so it gets to be a little bit hectic, but you know what? I was thinking of some of the people who I just met, and how all of us obviously are reaching higher. Let me just start by saying that, because it's a last day of the month, or if you're in Australia, it's already the first day of March, right? So I was just thinking about, if we're going to show up here and we're going to make efforts and learn things that we haven't learned before, then I think it should be worth our while. And so what I wanted to introduce to you all today is the idea, or reintroduce to you, hopefully it's not a new concept, but the idea of setting a monthly goal, because we're right at the precipice here of March. So here's the question, everyone. What is it that you intend to accomplish in March? I think that's a powerful question. And it's one that I had to ask myself. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I think I need to crystallize this. No pun intended with Crystal. She's here right now. But I think I need to make this a bit more concrete, a bit more clear, because I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking to accomplish specifically in March. Now, it's interesting that time can get away from us. There's this thing called Parkinson's Law. Does anybody know Parkinson's Law? Anybody? No? Okay. Parkinson's Law is that work expands to fill the time allowed for it. So there's always going to be something more urgent, right? Not more important, but more urgent than you reaching your goals, assuming you have goals, right? And so what I was thinking is, every time that I've gotten a lot done, in other words, I've accelerated my attainment of some outcome. Every time I've done that, it's because I had some pressure on myself, either self-induced, which is really cool, I think, or induced from outward, right? There was some stimulus, something that said, oh, you need to get this done. So whether it was self-manufactured or thrust upon me, there was a higher necessity level than just, some part-time, sometimes show up, maybe, right? That's where we can see Parkinson's Law all the time, right? Because once again, as easy as it is to do the right thing, it's even easier to just not do it. So I was thinking, like, all the way down to the subatomic level here. What is it that I could put in motion right now? And I think this will serve you all. What is it that I can put in motion right now that would predispose March to being a spectacularly successful month? And it starts with right where I sit, like right here, right now. So I got up this morning, and I don't need the calendar to tell me that it's March 1st for me to do this, okay? But I got up this morning and I was thinking, you know what? I've gotten out of routines. I've had a few routines, and those of you who are new, you went through the little welcome video that I did there, where I talked about my DMO, daily method of operation. And there's a few things that you could do. Here's some suggestions. I'm not your guru. I'm not telling you that you have to. I'm just saying, here's what I typically do. And it's pretty, my results are pretty good, right? So the first thing we could do is sit there, be quiet, and just observe your thoughts. So we can call that meditation. We can call that, quiet time, visualization. Hal Elrod, in his book, The Miracle Morning, talked about what he calls the SAVERS, SAVERS acronym for, these sort of morning rituals that set himself up and predispose the rest of the day to being a successful day. The first one is S for silence. Okay, great. So sit there and be quiet, right? Well, wasn't I just quiet? I was just sleeping. Well, maybe you were quiet. I don't know. But were you deliberately quiet? Or, I mean, where was the mind going then? How about we just remind ourselves at the outset of each day where we're going, who we are, and where we're going? That would be a good place to start, right? So I did that today. I did that. I sat there, had a good 15 minutes. This is before my wife and daughter were up. Even the dogs were asleep. Even the friggin' hamster was asleep. It was just me, quiet, right? Around daybreak. Great. Did some of that. Then hauled out a book, right? What's the second thing I talked about in my daily method of operation is study, personal development study. I mean, if you're not loading your gun, somebody else is, right? So I got to reading some James Allen. This is not one of the beginner's books, by the way. This one's rather big. This is a collection of his works, The Complete Treasury. A friend and client of mine sent me this. He's like, "Oh, John, I'll love this." Like, yeah, my bookshelf isn't full enough. I'm like 2 rows deep in that. So anyway, now I got this tome in my hands. All 19 classic books by the groundbreaking motivational thinker. Anyway, in fact, one of these books I'm reading for our book study group, which I do on Monday nights, which you're all invited to if you're interested. But The 8 Pillars of Prosperity, spectacular book. Spectacular. So, put in some good ideas, right? I mean, if we're going to think thoughts, well, let's be deliberate about which thoughts to think. So now that I got quiet, I thought some thoughts. And James helped me, right? He told me what he thought, which was kind of cool, right? And he has my best interest in mind. He's not telling me to watch the news or anything. He's telling me, think for yourself and, have some intention here. So there was that. And then what did I do? Can anybody guess? You're right. I went to the gym. Now, guess what I did not want to do today? I did not want to go to the gym. So guess what I did? I went to the gym, right? So it's not about, comfort per se. And I'm not admonishing you, telling you that, your life must be arduous. However, I can tell you this, having been off routine a bit during my move and setting up, I'm still arranging the garage, and I just got a great deal on some nice cabinets too. I get excited about like metal garage cabinets. That's like a thrill for me. So anyway, yeah, I tend to get off schedule here a little bit, get out of my routine. Okay. And I will tell you, it's way easier to stay in shape than it is to get in shape. Food for thought. Actually, food for action. And action is what I did. I went and there was, metal and everything I needed to get a workout in, right? Air, gravity, right? All of it at every modern accommodation, right? And I did it. I moved metal, and it hurt. And then I finished, right? And I came home. And what did I do? I got into income producing activity. Just like that, because action begets action, right? So now that I'm moving, right? I had my quiet time, did some study, loaded my gun, so to speak, did some action. All right, great. What's next? Well, more action then. And I've been in action ever since. Nonstop action, 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 action. And right back to Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time allowed for it. Well, what's a great way to reduce the amount of time it takes to get stuff done? Well, to take decisive action. And we've talked about this before. For our new members, I'm going to enlighten you on something that has been a breakthrough for me. But looking back in retrospect at all the things I didn't do, or all the things that took longer than they should have, or all the things that didn't get done in the month of March, so to speak, I could see that the number one culprit, the thing that has cost me more time than anything by far, is indecision. Indecision. There's the enemy. And this is why our routines are so great, because I don't have to decide. It's already decided. If that's a routine or habit, right? Well, just do that. I don't have to sit there and like Q&A and decide, well, should I, or shouldn't I, right? Indecision. And you'll know that you've decided because you'll see your feet moving, right? To decide but to not act is to not have decided. So since my feet are already moving, well, apparently, I'm decisive. So what else could I do right now? So I walked in from the gym. My wife was up at that point, and she's working with our accountant on tax documents and such. And she said, I need to know which business on the Amazon orders. And so And so since I'm already in action, by the way, this is not something I like to do, accounting stuff and looking up which orders for, oh my goodness. But she said, I need that to complete what we're doing with the accountant. And so touch it once. That's a policy that you can put in place. That helps you get stuff done faster. Touch it once. Well, now that I touched it mentally anyway, I just got the orders, right? We need this information. Okay, well, let me go gather the information. Rather than sitting there bemoaning, oh, I don't like doing this. Oh, you know what I could do? I got something else I got to do now, which arguably could be more important. I could do that later. And then in the back of my mind, oh, I still got to do that thing I don't want to do. So all I did was I touched it once. I opened up the Amazon account. I went through all the orders for 2021. I categorized them. Here's the document done. And you know what my wife said? You're fast. It's like, yeah, I don't like doing this stuff. Accounting for, where is that $6 or, $100 or whatever, on that order. So it's done. It's done. Now you may be saying, well, John, if you knew more about accounting, you'd probably use QuickBooks or something. You never have to do stuff like that. All right. Well, so I got stuff to learn too. But here's the thing I had to learn, probably one of the first things I had to learn when I was becoming successful as an entrepreneur, which is what all of you are intending to do, is reduce the amount of time it takes to get stuff done. That's one of the first things I had to learn how to do. Because once again, Parkinson's law. So back to present time. Here we are at the precipice of March. What does March hold for you? Now, some of this stuff you can't control. Okay. Some of the stuff is going to be, and I'm going to speak to our new members here for a moment. You put in the documents for the Amazon account or the Etsy thing or whatever, and now they're throwing a curveball at you and you got to do more documents or technical. Okay. Some of that stuff is out of your hands. So, and I'm not telling you need to have a crystal ball. Okay. But make an educated guess. Okay. Notwithstanding curveballs that come your way, which is part of life, right? You're going to do the life thing. Okay, great. We're going to solve problems. That's cool. Keeps it interesting. But the everything else, right, is stuff that you can control. Yes, you do have causation. You do have dominion, right, over how you spend most of your time, how you spend or invest most of your attention and energy, because you only have so much. Here's 24 hours. Today, you're going to spend it somewhere, maybe somewhere good, maybe somewhere bad. I don't know. Hopefully, right? Because you're in the driver's seat. So now part of that, I would argue, should be, can be, and must be on the four things I just told you, which were, there's nothing new. Anyone who's here, you've been through at least my welcome video, right? So have some quiet time. I don't care how long or how short it is, okay? But have some. Study. Right? I showed you 5 books that you could start with. Exercise. Unfair advantage, guys. Don't doubt me on this. Unfair advantage, exercise. Use your body, especially if you're engaged in subjective work, thinking and looking at screens. You got to use your body. And immediately onto some income producing activity every day. And when you develop those habits, you know what's going to happen? You're going to go faster. You're going to get more done in less time, which is, again, one of the first things I had to learn how to do, because we all got the same 24 hours. Some people are fabulously successful and wealthy. Other people are in the gutter. What's the difference? Well, where are we putting our attention? One of the things that we're going to definitely want to put our attention on, back to the whole idea of goals or having a monthly goal or chunking down, your vision of where you're going with this into, well, here's what I can accomplish in March, right? One of the ideas embedded in all of that is where your mind is going most of those times. What are you thinking about? Because two people engaged in the same activities can have totally different results. It's the quality of thought that creates a major difference. In fact, since I'm reading James Allen right now, I'll quote some of James Allen. This is from his book, As a Man Thinketh, where he said, you cannot choose your circumstances, but you can choose your thoughts, and therefore indirectly yet surely shape your circumstances. I can tell you that when I have clear intention, but I'm not indecisive, okay? But when I'm decisive and intentional, I attract different circumstances into my life that aid me in the fulfillment of my intent. You've seen this for yourself. All of you have, right? You've also seen where you're maybe wallowing in, I don't know, whatever plight has befallen you, right? And what you think about, you get more of that, right? Okay, well, if you're a victim, you get to be more of a victim. And sure enough, right, here's all this other crap that goes along with it, right? So one of the things that I would say is the most powerful for you to do and empowering for you to do is to get really clear about who you are and where you're going with all this. And I think if we did like a little monthly reminder, you can do this for yourself, right? Maybe go ahead and revisit some of those ideas that you had when you first enrolled, and you may have just enrolled today. Okay, so you may be brand new here. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, because we push this out to the public, I don't care who sees it, hopefully the whole world. But maybe you could revisit and say, you know what, 60 days ago or whatever it was, I had this New Year's resolution for whatever that was worth. Okay, well, how about right now? How about right now I have some resolve? How about right now I revisit, what did I say 60 days ago? Or what should I have said, or whatever? But where are we going from here? Moving forward. Now let's break this down into chunks. I believe anybody with real intention can accomplish something profound in 30 days. That's about how long it takes to start to develop a habit. I would say 90 days, now you got to have it. Some psychologists say 21 days. I don't know about that. Okay, but 30 days, right? In one of my business groups that I work with, we do what some people would call like a blitz, like a 30-day or a 90-day blitz, right? Where everything else gets put on hold. No excuses, like this has to happen. We're pushing these stats up for the next 30 days or 60 or 90 days or whatever the time period is. I'm involved in one of those right now. It's a 90-day, like total, all hands on deck. We're about 30 days into it. And so, which is beautiful, right? Because again, as easy as it is to do the right thing, it's even easier to just not do it, right? Well, now that we've got some targets, well, now it's not so arbitrary. Now we know what we're shooting at. So that's what I'm asking you to do, is pick a target it's now March 31st. It's 31 days in March, right? 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Yep, 31. So it's March 31st. What did you accomplish? Starting now. Again, notwithstanding curveballs and all this. But let's say, for example, here with your e-commerce business, there are a certain number of designs that you could produce. Okay, so let's say it's, I don't know, let's pick a number, you guys. How about 250? So 250 divided by 1 equals, that would be 8.06 designs per day. Can you do 8 designs per day? Doesn't sound so big, 8, right? Or maybe to you it does sound big. I'm not here to evaluate what's big or small for you, but tell you what, 8 is infinitely better than 0. And if we've been stopped, right, inertia, an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Well, if you've been that object, well, my goodness, 1 would be infinitely better than 0. Okay, but why don't we set some targets? Tighten it up a bit. Work expands to fill the time allowed for it. Well, how long do you want it to take to get 250 designs up? Look, they're not all going to stick. It's not like you need to be right every single time. If you were, let's pass the collection basket and I'll give you offerings or something. I mean, who does? Nobody's right 100% of the time. Rachel's been doing this stuff for years. She's not right 100% of the time. If you're right 20% of the time, you're a superstar. And our engineering and accounting friends, that drives you crazy, doesn't it? I know, because I have a mechanical background, and there's no gray area there. It's either right or you're fired, right? So, okay, it's got to be right. But here it's all gray. I mean, you could be a superstar if you're right. I mean, if like a structural engineer, like guys building bridges and stuff, if they were right 20% of the time, like that's the end of civilization, man. I mean, it's over. It's crash and burn. Okay, no, you got to be right 100% of the time, and have your work checked by your 15 of your peers. Well, what's right here? Well, the marketplace will tell you what's right. The point is that you need to reach to find what's right. Reach, do it. right? Execute, produce something, right? And then assess. So when we set these goals, it could include like financial reward, and I've made a certain amount of money. It could include that, but it must include those things which you are capable and have dominion over, which is your own actions. As a pretty smart guy wrote, integrity is everything. So you give yourself a command, you follow it. Now you're moving towards that goal. Okay, whether it bears fruit in that period of time or not. Okay, you set a target, and then you did what you said you were going to do. That's called discipline. You give yourself a command and follow it. And next thing you know, well, you're an esteemable person. If you want good self-esteem, do esteemable things. Somebody told me that once, 30 something years ago, and I guess it stuck. So do esteemable things. Develop those patterns, those habits, right? Those routines. Spend less time in self-deliberation, more time doing. And then you'll see what's right. You'll optimize the good stuff. You'll, jettison the subpar, and then you'll be on the path. Look, I don't care how new or how seasoned you are, right? This is a conversation I need to hear. This is for me, right? I need to hear this all the time because I can rest on my laurels too, right? Or I can come up with all kinds of excuses. In fact, I was talking with my mastermind group on Friday, and I said, I've been out of my routine, and I got some great excuses. Anybody want my excuses? Anybody want to hear my excuses? They weren't that interested. I guess laughingly, jokingly, yeah. Lay some excuses on it. We need some ammo for the next time we screw up, right? Give us some content. Like, no excuses. Just do it. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you for being here. Let's have fun, and let's produce. Because what else are we doing here? Right. Floor is open. We got 44 awesome people here with us right now. And I'd love to see a couple hands if you guys want to share your ideas on whatever this topic is that I just introduced today. I see Pam there in the chat. Damn you, John, I'm off to the gym when you are done. All right. I'll talk faster, Pam. Hey, Alec, come on out, brother. What's up?
Not much. You were saying that that exercise is a very good thing. So exercise is something that I just I just recently started.
Well,
it's turned into a thank you. It's turned into a daily routine. Sometimes can be multi-daily routine. So as I'm waiting for the computer to do something, it's like, hey, you know what? I got enough time to do me a quick 5 each arm. And you said to do something income productive.
mm-hmm.
And I have not done that for pretty much my entire time at LHS. I mean, sure, producing like mugs and designs and everything, sure, I can do that. But am I really doing my research as to what is good? So I can make the design, but have I really, it's kind of like when you go to a mechanic. I mean, sure, you have several mechanics that can fix your car, but I mean, going to that one mechanic that's gonna not only fix your car, but he's gonna tell you that if he finds something else wrong with it, as he's doing his job, he's going about looking for other little problems. And I'm not saying every mechanic does that, but a good mechanic can. And I'm trying to put that together with my work, because sure, I can produce a design, but am I really doing anything else but producing a design?
Well, let me throw in on that, Alec. All right, so you've got product, and then you've got promotion. right? So give you an example right here in my house. A couple days ago, my daughter, she has e-commerce. She has two e-commerce businesses. One is with like customized jewelry and stuff that she mostly sells at farmers markets, gets a table and whatever. She's 11. All right. But she's also got a little website. Okay. And so, we've mentioned this to friends and on social media, and she's gotten a few orders. But her other business is with fidgets, like you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like little things that kids play with, right? And I guess grown-ups do as well. And slime. She's like an expert slime maker. She's been into slime for a long time. I can't stand it, but anyway. So she's creating the slime, and she did some videos. Here's the promotional part. She did some videos. One of them was on TikTok, where she's just got this slime and she's putting her fingers into it. It's just a close up of slime and fingers. No talking, no nothing. Hundreds of views on this, and then the link back to her site. Just made $100 this weekend selling fidgets and slime to kids. My goodness, right? So I would say don't try too hard, I guess, first of all, but definitely do some promotion, right? You got to do something to make known that you've got designs. Oh, that's fantastic. I was just on a YouTube channel where a guy, he did his talk. By the way, guys, check out my shirts. Here's the new design, right? Right. Okay, great. So he's monetizing that. He may or may not get, advertising dollars as well, but he's selling his own stuff to people who already resonate with his message. So I don't know, if you're into like the spoken word, but if not, I mean, you could get on TikTok or something just with one of your coffee cup designs and just be drinking out of it. Not a word said. Right. I have a friend, I'm going to shut up after this. And then we got Kelly and Shaquille want to come out here too. But I got a friend who he's a marketing and publicist kind of guy. And he said that he would prove to my wife that TikTok is a viable promotional thing, because we were very resistant to that particular platform. And so he shot a video of him just sitting there staring at the screen with another video playing alongside or above, because it's vertical videos on TikTok. And the other video was this guy singing a song. So the guy singing a song, and then my friend just sitting there at the screen, not a word. 20,000 views in a day. All right, now we know. So promote by whatever method, and who knows what's going to stick. Love you, Alec. Glad you're here, man. Let's go to Kelly and then Shaquille. Hey, Kelly. There's Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly.
All right.
Hey.
So I'm about maybe 5 weeks in now, and I just keep hitting like roadblocks. But interestingly enough, since I started, I feel like I've been slowly starting to kind of do what you're saying, like set goals for like the month. Like I set it like goals and then set like maybe some daily goals, like what you have and stuff like that. And I am probably the most disorganized person, and I just feel like slowly over the last few weeks, even though I haven't been able to really get anything up and going, I feel like I've been slowly getting more organized with like a lot of things. Like I started working out 3 weeks ago, and I'm going into my 4th week of it. Like I've got a program I'm following, and I literally am now working out 6 days a week. And I'm reading the 5 Second Rule.
Mm-hmm.
And I am loving this book. Like I set a daily goal of like I originally started with just 10 minutes because I'm so much going on. And I slowly bumped it up to 20 minutes. And then if I finish the 20 minutes and I still have time, I continue reading. So it's seriously like helping me with like a lot of like the organizing, getting things going. But I'm excited like for this month of March. I just need to get like everything keeps getting deactivated and shut off for me. So like one ended and one opened and the other one ended again. So Amazon, I can't get through until next week after I do the video verification. And then Etsy, I literally just got it set up again, and I'm just kind of trying to get just the first product up and then get everything going. But I like the fact of setting the goals. Like, I just want to make my first sale. After that, I'd like to make 10 more sales by the end of the month. But I like how you're talking about like making the designs and having set like amounts and stuff like that. But I'm trying to set up more than just like the the work aspect of it. I'm actually now trying to make it so that I'm setting goals for my daily life as well, like time with the kids, homeschooling and everything like that. So I just I'm loving all this because it's just making me feel so much better about life right now. So I'm thankful for this.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, you know what? Part of the benefits of becoming an entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur, obviously who you become in the process, right? So there's so much that you didn't know you were signing up for, but here we are, right? And so I'll take it, right? That's awesome. That's a win, Kelly. And I like your idea on a certain number of sales as well. Like if you knew that you had to have a certain statistic in terms of sales, in this case, what would you do? What would you do? Like if you knew you had to sell 10, that was your quota or something, and you're giving your own commands, right, to yourself. Well, you'd find, people to impinge upon and cause them to want to buy your stuff, right? That's promotion by whatever means, right? I mean, I can call 10 relatives and sell them a cup each. I can call one relative and sell them the whole collection. Just thinking, keeping it close to home, right? But obviously we're going to go beyond that. But if you had to get 10 sold, well, now you start getting creative, right? So I like it. I like it. Good stuff. Thanks, Kelly. Let's go to my buddy Shaquille, who's here. What's up, Shaquille?
What's up, everybody? What's up? Hope you're all having a beautiful morning. I just wanted to kind of add some comments on how you were talking about the importance of like having a schedule and like reducing the time that it takes to do things. Since the start of 2022, I've been like kind of like my own like I don't even know what to call it, but like everything that I do from when I wake up, I set my intentions that I want to have completed by the end of each of my days. And for each thing that I do, I kind of like log it in my to-do list so that I'm constantly checking stuff off. And I'm even putting timestamps on it too, so that I know how long it took me to do particular actions. And so that's been incredibly helpful. And what you were talking about when starting your morning, a thing that's really helpful, and I'm not sure if you have talked about it in the past, in addition to finding time to be quiet or to be silent, because a lot of people may have issues quieting the activity of their mind. And within that time, they could just be struggling for that whole time that they're quiet. So a thing that's been helpful for me, because I went through some things at the end of last year that had me really sad. I went through a breakup, and I had a lot on my mind, every day as I went to sleep and as when and when I woke up. And the thing that really helped was to carve out a block of time, 10 to 20 or even 30 minutes of a time to write, to do a free write. And that's been massively helpful at just getting stuff off my chest, like right at the start of, of my day. And then after that, I'm on like a strict schedule of where I have to work out like early in the day, and it doesn't matter like what time. Like you were talking about how you've been kind of off of your schedule, John, right? I think, I'm not sure when it happened, but recently the sun went into Pisces, if anyone is into astrology. And with that, it's basically straitjacket season. So if you're off schedule and you're kind of just out of it, then don't feel too bad. You know what I mean? And you may find particular reasons to be in a straitjacket, trying to figure out things in your mind. But having a schedule really helps you to create freedom and help you come up with new ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, stuff that's been helpful for me, journaling when I wake up. And if I don't feel like it, then I'll just be quiet and I will meditate and set my intentions for each day of what I want to do. And that keeps me on track. And also the timestamps, just like staying on my own ass has been really like helpful in improving the quality of my life.
Awesome.
And yeah, I'll end with one more thing. I heard a quote. It was like, the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of the questions that you ask. And that's of yourself and of others. And so make sure you're asking yourself the right questions, and that kind of ties in with your intentions of what you want to do each day, and and staying on track. So yeah, I'll shut up now.
Thank you, Shaquille. And the sun is in Pisces. I mean, who knew? Now that explains everything. Now we know. Pass out the straitjackets, everybody. Hey, Pat, let's get Pat out here, and then we're going to wrap up for today. Where's my friend Pat? Hey, Pat, let's get you unmuted, my friend.
Okay. I just wanted to comment on the keeping the schedule. I've mentioned before, that I suffer very badly from depression. And I have a schedule that makes most people shudder. It's got probably 50 items on it. And I go through them, and I won't let myself do the next action until I completed the one before. And I mentioned to you on our call that I have this time of day from here to 2:00 is my LHS time. So if it's not live, I'm looking at the videos of one type of another. And the 3 to 4 is coaching time. I go back and I look at that and coaching. And I find the discipline of doing things at the same time every day, has really helped me, because I'm still having massive problems with Etsy. And so I can't list. I can list them, but they're not going anywhere. So I spend, while I'm listening to the coaching, I'm also making designs or, putting them on Gear Bubble or putting them over to Etsy. So I figure by the time I get all this done with Etsy, I'll have about 200 designs ready to, just click the button and go. But it's frustrating. But I am doing income producing things, because I am doing the designs, I am doing the research, I am, getting them launched on the different platforms. So don't think you're not doing income producing activity because you're not getting sales or you're not doing, specific things on the platform. Everything you do, whether it's listening to coaching, or Gear Bubble or whatever, is an income producing activity. It's something that's going to lead you into your sales eventually. That's it.
Well done. Thank you, Pat. So good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. And I see also in the chat, Scott said, straitjackets, wonder what saying designs could go on the straitjacket. There we go. So yeah, something for everybody. Hey, people buy everything, right? So maybe you'll start a new trend. Anyway, love you guys. Make it a great day. We'll be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, let's get some stuff done, right? Rather than just sit around thinking about it, let's just do it.